So for those who don't know, I did do ballet for 15 years, very intensely. I trained at one of the best schools in the country at Pacific Northwest Ballet, and that took up that was my entire life. That was all I knew, that was all I was surrounded by, that was all I was consuming. My entire life was built around nothing but ballet. But you spend all that time in a studio wearing a leotard and sweating, and then sometimes you're also under stage lights and heavy makeup, and these are all things that just clog the pores further. So half of my acne problems were hormonal, and then the other half was just dealing with sweating a lot. So what did I try in the past during my many year-long acne journey? I started on birth control, especially because I was in ballet. I started birth control because I was getting sick and tired of dealing with a period while also having to wear leotard and tights all the time. It's not fun. It's not fun as a girl, being you lift your leg to the side and you're like, oh shit. I'm bleeding. And thank God it's all girls in there, and your teacher would totally understand, but it just gets old. It gets old. And so I started birth control, and my primary care physician was just oh, some people notice that when you start birth control, their acne gets better too. It didn't make it better. Then I was also a frequent at the dermatologist. This was more in my college years, which during college I was also going through a lot of different kinds of stress. I remember when I moved into my apartment for I think it was my third year of university, and this was all during the pandemic, so it was kind of not fun. And so my body was I'm panicking all the time inside. I'm gonna break out on you. And I just remember my cheeks and my forehead just turned into a landmine of cysts. That was kind of when I started going to the derm more frequently. It kind of helped, and then kind of didn't. Oh my gosh, the emotional toll. I didn't want to take pictures of myself or film myself on camera and see my pimply, bumpy skin. And that's part of the reason why I put off showing up on camera and in photos for so long, because I was I don't want to I'm I already see it every day when I look in the mirror. I don't want a permanently captured snapshot of what my skin was doing. I mean, first of all, TCM is highly individualized, so what works for one person isn't what's gonna be the remedy for the next person. Everybody's gonna need something completely different. But what I've learned, at least from my experience, was that the pattern of acne, usually as a whole, it is usually very hot, and there is some dampness, and things are moving around in the body as they should. And a big thing in TCM is that things should always be moving. When things stop moving, bad news. When things stop moving, things accumulate, things stagnate, and then we get a whole bunch of stuff that we don't like acne. And so really what I started to really pay attention to, what things am I doing in my daily life that are causing inflammation, and what things are causing dampness, as well as what things are also causing stagnation. Stress is a big one. And then am I eating too much heaty, sugary food? Sugar, processed sugar, but also sometimes the sugars that are found in fruits. TCM considers sugar to be the dampest of foods. And so when we're eating a lot of excess sugar, it can trigger the hormonal acne to worsen. And also because again, this is usually a heaty condition of some kind, focusing on bitter, cooling herbs. And another thing, if you read my bitters article, where I talk about the bitter flavor and how it corresponds to early summer and the heart organ, we talked about bitters' very cleansing properties that flushes things out of the body. So like cooling and bitter is really your big, like I would say, dietary ally for acne. If you like this video, I have a whole Substack article that goes way more in depth than I do here. And if you're into things like herbalism and TCM and holistic wellness, that is pretty much all my Substack page is dedicated to. And I would love it if you would like send this to someone, like, share, subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.